The knowledge of mind is the highest and hardest just because it is the most concrete of sciences. The significance of that absolute commandment, know thyself, whether we look at it in itself or under the historical circumstances of its first utterance, is not to promote mere self-knowledge in respect of the particular capacities, character, propensities, and foibles of the single self. The knowledge it commands means that of man's genuine reality, of what is essentially and ultimately true and real, of mind as the true and essential being. Equally little is it the purport of mental philosophy to teach what is called knowledge of men, the knowledge whose aim is to detect the peculiarities, passions, and foibles of other men, and lay bare what are called the recesses of the human heart. Information of this kind is, for one thing, meaningless unless on the assumption that we know the universal, man as man, and that always must be as mind. And for another, being only engaged with casual, insignificant, and untrue aspects of mental life, it fails to reach the underlying essence of them all, the mind itself. 378. Pneumatology, or, as it was also called, rational psychology, has been already alluded to in the introduction to the Logic as an abstract and generalizing metaphysic of the subject. Empirical, or inductive, psychology, on the other hand, deals with the concrete mind. And after the revival of the sciences, when observation and experience had been made the distinctive methods for the study of concrete reality, such psychology was worked on the same lines as other sciences. In this way it came about that the metaphysical theory was kept outside the inductive science, and so prevented from getting any concrete embodiment or detail, whilst at the same time the inductive science clung to the conventional common-sense metaphysics with its analysis into forces, various activities, etc., and rejected any attempt at a speculative treatment. The books of Aristotle on the soul, along with his discussions on its special aspects and states, are for this reason still by far the most admirable, perhaps even the sole, work of philosophical value on this topic. The main aim of a philosophy of mind can only be to reintroduce unity of idea and principle into the theory of mind, and so reinterpret the lesson of those Aristotelian books. 379. Even our own sense of the mind's living unity naturally protests against any attempt to break it up into different faculties, forces, or, what comes to the same thing, activities conceived as independent of each other. But the craving for a comprehension of the unity is still further stimulated as we soon come across distinctions between mental freedom and mental determinism, antitheses between free psychic agency and the corporeity that lies external to it, whilst we equally note the intimate interdependence of the one upon the other. In modern times especially, the phenomena of animal magnetism have given, even in experience, a lively and visible confirmation of the underlying unity of soul and of the power of its ideality. Before these facts, the rigid distinctions of practical common sense are struck with confusion, and the necessity of a speculative examination with a view to the removal of difficulties is more directly forced upon the student.